Powdthavee. Nick is a professor of behavioural science at the University of Warwick. Nick, thank you so much for your time. You, along with your colleague Andrew Oswald, have published research that shows another effect on the human body of dirty air. Not quite as serious as death, but certainly alarming. Tell us more.
Well, we would argue otherwise. I think memory is very, very important. So in our study, we take about 34,000 randomly selected individuals living in the UK. All these individuals did a standardized memory test, and we found that the way they perform is linked negatively to the level of air pollution in the area. And it's very, very striking because, I just saw the video that in New Delhi now, in India, the nitrogen dioxide is about 100. You wouldn't think UK to be particularly heavily polluted, but the highest one is about 34. So that is a vastly difference. And the reason why we think that this is important is because we know that impaired memory is linked to the risk of developing dementia. And we know dementia is to be a huge problem in the modern society.
But literally affecting memory by 10 years. In other words, if you're 50 years old and you live in an area of the United Kingdom which is particularly dirty, let's say London because it's the most populated city, your brain would be the equivalent of a 60-year-old in terms of memory capabilities.
Yes, it surprises us as well because we have to keep in mind that our study, we were able to adjust for things like age, income, gender, ethnicity, and whether the area is relatively deprived. And we found that the effect from moving to the least polluted area to the highest polluted area is equivalent to about 10 years of aging. It's just mind-boggling to us, but that's what we found.
It is mind-boggling indeed. Nick, I don't know if it's your area of expertise, but is there any way you know of that can help a person reduce their intake of those harmful particles in the air?
Well, I have to say that I am a behavioural scientist, so I don't particularly know the mechanisms that goes into it. We only know that from smaller scale studies in the medical literature that nitrogen dioxide is linked to abnormal development of hippocampus, which is linked to our memory. It's harder to think of, what as an individual, in terms of choice, what we could do to prevent that happening. But I think in terms of the government, the policymakers need to take this into consideration as a huge cost to society, and that it has to be taken from that point of view, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be getting a call from someone in a position of importance, Nick, to say, look, let's look at your research much more closely, because obviously air quality and the air that we breathe, how else are we going to live? Nick Powdthavee, thank you so much.